Amanda asked, "What do you want to do?" I took a breath and said, "Nothing. Let security handle it." And that was that. I didn't let them win. Amanda nodded. "I'll go check in with the guards." As she left, I sat down and tried to collect myself. In the distance, I could faintly hear my mom and Cassie arguing with security. It took everything in me not to storm out and confront them. A few minutes later, Amanda returned with an update. "They're refusing to leave. The venue manager offered to call the police, but they're worried it'll make an even bigger scene." I groaned. This was exactly why I'd uninvited them in the first place. "Should I tell Ryan?" Amanda asked. I shook my head. "No. He doesn't need this stress. Just make sure they don't get anywhere near the ceremony." Thankfully, security handled it. They kept my mom and Cassie confined to the parking lot, and eventually, the venue staff called a ride service to take them away. But not before Cassie made one last dramatic exit, yelling loud enough for half the venue to hear, "You'll regret this, Emily. You'll regret cutting out your own family." Once they were gone, I took a deep breath and reminded myself to let it go. They were out of sight, and I wasn't about to let them ruin this day. The ceremony itself was everything I dreamed of and more. Standing up there with Ryan, surrounded by our closest friends and actual supportive family, I felt overwhelmed with love and gratitude. That moment, that was what mattered. Not the drama, not the bitterness, just love. During the cocktail hour, bits and pieces of the earlier chaos started trickling in. Apparently, my mom and Cassie had shouted accusations at the security guards, claiming I was brainwashed by Ryan and that the family would never forgive me for excluding them. Some guests even overheard them from the parking lot, which was embarrassing. But honestly, most people just rolled their eyes and moved on. Later during dinner, my dad, my sister, and Aunt Laura came up to me. "I'm so proud of you for standing your ground," Aunt Laura said. "They showed their true colors today. Everyone sees it now." That sentiment echoed throughout the night. Cousins, friends, even some of my mom's old friends, pulled me aside to say they supported me. It felt like a collective reckoning. People finally saw just how toxic my mom and Cassie had been. The rest of the night was a blur of laughter, dancing, and joy. Ryan and I shared our first dance under twinkling lights. My maid of honor gave a hilarious and heartfelt toast. My dad's best friend, who's basically an uncle, had the whole room in stitches recounting the time he caught Ryan trying to sneak ribs out of a family barbecue. By the end of the night, I felt lighter than I had in months. Cassie and my mom hadn't won. If anything, their actions only underscored how much love and support Ryan and I truly had. Back at the hotel, I checked my phone. Dozens of missed calls and texts from my mom. I didn't even open them. I was done letting her and Cassie occupy space in my life. Cutting them out was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made, but standing there beside Ryan, surrounded by people who genuinely cared about us, I knew it was the right one. Update. You won't believe what happened a week later. My cousin Megan, who's always first with family gossip, called me. "You're not going to believe this," she said, clearly more entertained than concerned. I braced myself. "What now?" "Cassie and your mom had a huge fight. Like, epic. And guess what? Your mom kicked her out." I nearly dropped my phone. "Wait, what? What happened?" According to Megan, Cassie had been sulking around my mom's house after the wedding, furious that her plan to ruin the day had failed. She blamed everyone. Me, Ryan, the security guards, even some poor cousin who didn't try hard enough to stop the wedding. Then she turned on my mom. Cassie accused her of not doing enough to stop the ceremony and claimed it was all Mom's fault that I'd gone through with it. For once, Mom, who has always coddled Cassie no matter how outrageous she gets, snapped. Megan said Mom shouted back that she was tired of the drama and that Cassie needed to grow up and take responsibility for her own life. Cassie, of course, lost it. She went on a full-blown rant about how Mom had failed her as a parent and was choosing me over her. It got so bad that my mom told her to pack up and leave. She really kicked her out? I asked, still trying to wrap my head around it. Yep, Megan said. Cassie's crashing with a friend now, but I doubt it'll last. She'll probably come crawling back in no time. Honestly, it felt like karma. After months of Mom defending Cassie and enabling her behavior, it all came back around. Their toxicity turned inward, and they turned on each other. I wish I could say I felt bad, but I don't. Not after everything they put me through. I've blocked their numbers, muted them on social media, and made it clear to the rest of the family, I don't want to hear about their drama anymore. Ryan and I are starting our new life together, and that's where my energy is going now. Thanks again for sticking with me through all of this. I'll keep you posted if anything else happens, but fingers crossed this chapter is finally closed. My mom demanded I cancel my wedding for my golden sister's feelings, so I uninvited them both. Hi, I'm Emily, 30F, and my fiancé Ryan, 31M, proposed to me last March after 6 wonderful years together. We've been best friends, true partners, and have supported each other through everything. Naturally, when he proposed, I was over the moon, until I shared the news with my mom and half-sister, Cassie, 24F. Cassie is my mom's daughter from her second marriage. Though we grew up together, we were never close, just two people forced to share a house. Cassie has always had a competitive streak toward me, whether it was school grades, attention from relatives, or now, marriage. When I told my mom I was engaged, her immediate response wasn't excitement. It was, "Oh, Cassie's not going to like this." I thought it was a joke. It wasn't. A few weeks later, Cassie suddenly got engaged to a guy she had known for 3 months. I kept my opinions to myself, even when they rushed into a wedding and even when, just 2 months later, he cheated on her. Divorce followed swiftly and Cassie spiraled. I tried being there for her, but she shut me out, clearly seething. As we continued planning our January wedding, the emotional sabotage began. My mom began calling me, suggesting I cancel or at least downsize the wedding for Cassie's sake. She said it was too soon after Cassie's heartbreak, and that a big celebration would be insensitive. When I refused, she amped up the guilt. If you loved your sister, you'd do this for her. Cassie started texting passive-aggressively. Must be nice to have everything go perfectly for you. Are you sure you didn't pick January? Just to rub it in my face? It became clear that this wasn't about grief, it was about control. It escalated until Christmas, when Ryan and I attended a family dinner. Cassie gave me the silent treatment all night, then suddenly burst into tears in the middle of the room, claiming I was being cruel for talking about my wedding. My mom immediately sided with her, scolding me for flaunting my happiness. I finally snapped. I said, this wedding has nothing to do with Cassie. Maybe if she didn't rush into a marriage to compete with me, she wouldn't be in this situation. Cassie exploded, accusing me of never struggling and having everything handed to me. I told her, I don't know what it's like to have my life fall apart because I don't make reckless choices to compete with other people. Then Ryan and I walked out. The next day, my mom texted, You owe your sister an apology. I didn't reply. Update. I uninvited them. After weeks of escalating drama, I made the hardest but most necessary decision. I uninvited my mom and Cassie from the wedding. With Ryan's support, I sent a respectful but firm email. Their actions, guilt-tripping, rumors spreading, emotional manipulation, made it clear they weren't supportive. I needed peace, and they weren't providing it. The responses? Predictably dramatic. My mom accused me of tearing the family apart, said I was choosing a man over my blood, and even invoked my late father's disappointment. Classic manipulation. Cassie claimed I was jealous of her. Jealous of what, exactly? Accused me of punishing her for being honest, and ended with, You'll regret this when you realize you've destroyed our family. But here's the truth. I don't regret it. I feel relieved. For once, I chose myself. After sending the email uninviting Mom and Cassie from the wedding, I didn't hear back from Mom. But the silence didn't last long. Within days, the backlash rolled in. Family members who'd already been turned against me by Mom and Cassie started calling and texting. My uncle called me immature and told me to just let it go, for the sake of family harmony. A cousin I barely talked to left a voicemail saying, "I can't believe you'd do something like this to your own mother." I was overwhelmed at first, but then something unexpected happened. The people who actually mattered started showing up. My Aunt Laura called to say she was proud of me for finally standing up for myself. My cousin Megan, who's been my ally, throughout this mess texted, "Don't let them get to you. Everyone who really knows you is on your side." Even my godmother, who's usually tough as nails, called to say, "Your wedding should be about love and celebration, not drama and bitterness." Their support felt like a balm on a wound I didn't realize had cut so deep. Update 2. Cassie's next move. Just when I thought Cassie couldn't stoop lower, she found a shovel. One night, Ryan got a text from her. It read, "Hey Ryan, I really need someone to talk to. I feel like you're the only one who understands. Can we meet up?" Ryan immediately showed me. We both agreed it felt off and creepy. They weren't even close. He didn't reply, but over the next few days, more messages came. She talked about being lonely and how much she appreciated his kindness. Then came the bombshell. "I've been thinking a lot about you. I feel like we have a connection that Emily doesn't understand." I was furious. She knew we were days away from getting married, and she was trying to wedge herself between us. Ryan, bless him, showed me every message and asked, "How do you want to handle this?" "Block her," I said, "but screenshot everything first." Then I sent an email to my mom and a few other family members attaching the receipts. I explained that this behavior was exactly why I uninvited Cassie. Predictably, Mom defended her, saying I misunderstood and was making it all about me. But others, like Megan and Aunt Laura, called and said they were appalled but proud of me for cutting her off. Update 3. The wedding day. Despite everything, the morning of the wedding was perfect. The venue looked magical. The weather was beautiful. My bridesmaids kept me calm and laughing, and my first look with Ryan melted all the stress away. Until, 30 minutes before the ceremony, my maid of honor, Amanda, burst into the bridal suite. "Cassie and your mom are here." Security had stopped them at the gate, but they were causing a scene. Mom was crying, saying she just wanted to see her daughter get married. Cassie was yelling that I was a horrible person who didn't deserve this day.